Here's a review for Jurassic World Rebirth. I saw the film on Thursday night, its second official day of release. It'll take the Jurassic franchise completely crashing and burning financially before the franchise ends, meaning things were always going to continue after Dominion, even after that film's unfavorable critical reaction. But the characters and stories from the previous Jurassic trilogy had definitely run their course, so it wasn't surprising that Rebirth was going to be a fresh direction for the franchise. Regardless, these Jurassic sequels have had mixed results, so how this film would turn out would be anything but a guarantee. In Jurassic World Rebirth, a hired team of extractors embarks on a mission to Isla whatever to extract blood samples from living dinosaurs, as it will hold the key to providing a cure for heart disease. Do things go according to plan? Well, of course not. There'd be no movie in that case. Now, this film takes the complete opposite approach that the previous trilogy took. Those films were all very much legacy sequels that played heavily into nostalgia ties to the OG films, with varying degrees of success. Nostalgia isn't always a bad thing, but this film has little ties to any previous Jurassic Park or World film. It is very much a standalone sequel. The only tie-in is addressing the fallout of dinosaurs being around the globe after Fallen Kingdom and Dominion. It's an explanation that's both sad, realistic, and appropriate, but I'm surprised they went there. But this played into this film's more mature handling of the dinosaurs this time around. It makes the previous trilogy feel cartoonish by comparison. This movie has its own fresh identity just with its tone and feel. Watching this film, you almost forget that this is a universe where you can ride a motorcycle with a pack of raptors by your side. I really did enjoy the direction Gareth Edwards brought here. He's got experience in quality blockbusters of this type, having personally done Rogue One, The Creator. I definitely didn't love 2014's Godzilla in its entirety, but even it had a handful of moments which were very entertaining and impressive. Speaking of that film, this film, Rebirth, has an opening very reminiscent of 2014 Godzilla's opening, although it had a Final Destination type element to it that was pretty damn laughable and definitely the worst part of the movie. Death, sponsored by Snickers. But this film's direction, along with the visuals and general look, were great. I didn't see it in premium format because I f***ed up in buying my tickets. I bought them for the wrong day initially. But I was still in a pretty big auditorium, and the film just had a great blockbuster scope to it. The previous trilogy was technically impressive too in a different kind of way, but I think this movie also delivered on those dinosaur predator sequences. All of them were very well done, with some great thrills, horror scares, and atmosphere to them. The Mosasaurus sequence was very impressive, and the other predator sequences that followed were very good too. The only thing that ended up being the downfall about most of these sequences was that there was just too many times where the dinosaur just misses out on chopping someone. The previous trilogy was guilty of this also, but it's just an exhausting tactic, as you know the good characters are going to be just fine. The movie does spell out which characters are going to be safe and which ones are going to end up dino food. That would be anyone that's a supporting extra and of course your asshole characters. It is very much a slasher film type structure in that regard. Even with the impressive technical feats and some thrilling moments, the thing that would be this movie's most challenging feat, like previous Jurassic Park and World Adventures, would be your human characters. No one is expecting mind-blowing type drama, but the previous Jurassic World trilogy didn't even try to have any kind of worthwhile development from your main characters, even if they were all mostly still likable. Like the direction and approach, this movie has a completely fresh cast of characters, highlighted by Scarlett Johansson and Mahershala Ali as the leaders of this extraction team, and you also have Jonathan Bailey as a dino expert that they bring along. I'll give the movie credit, it at least tried to write something for these characters. There's surprisingly a few scenes before the dino action really gets started, where they try to build some worthwhile backstory and character connections. In fact, there's a scene where it's just Scarlett Johansson and Mahershala Ali talking to each other that goes on for a few minutes that felt like, whoa, this is almost too much death for a Jurassic movie. As the movie goes on, though, it naturally becomes not so much about any kind of character development as it is focused on the dino action. But the good thing is that you all still like your main characters, and of course you can't help but feel a certain way about the asshole of the group. I think most of the film's heart came from the family that unintentionally gets involved in the action here. There's a dad, his daughters, who are essentially Nani and Lilo, and the dumb boyfriend. While the dad was completely stupid for putting his family in this situation, it's a likable family. The boyfriend did alternate between being annoying and having moments where he was a real hero. I'm not joking though when I say it's basically Nani and Lilo, because it is. The Lilo girl has those cute moments for the kids, and those classic uh-oh moments that the kids from the original faced. It's always going to be a staple having kids involved in these adventures, and I get it. These films end up being effective horror type films for kids, so having an avatar of sorts for them gives them something to relate to. Because of the family's involvement, the plot ends up being a combination of Jurassic Park: The Lost World and Jurassic Park 3. The extraction type element of The Lost World and the family rescue dynamic of Jurassic Park 3. You gotta wonder though when people in this universe will ever learn to stop intentionally f***ing around with dinosaurs. But I appreciate that these Jurassic World era films have been showcasing dinosaurs I ain't seen before. There's of course your made up ones too. The highlight threat or the big boss at the end is pretty damn terrifying, and the film is relentless with a lot of other dino threats. I thought the movie surprisingly worked in terms of a lot of stuff needed for a Jurassic adventure. It had a fresh feeling identity from the previous trilogy and was thrilling when it came to its dino horror sequences. It didn't completely follow through on what it promised with the character stuff at the beginning, but it was decent enough for a blockbuster of this sort. That held it back though from being excellent. I gotta say, I enjoyed the film a lot. I think it's the best Jurassic sequel, which in some regards isn't saying much because they mostly haven't been great, whether it's Park or World. The only sequel that I'll actively say I liked was the first Jurassic World, and this new film is on par with that one for different reasons. I'm not sure what reviews this film is getting. I always make a point in avoiding that until after I do my review. But from my perspectives, this was an enjoyable enough dino adventure, with not a lot to majorly complain about in the context of being a Jurassic film. I'm not sure what they would do for a follow-up to this film, assuming it makes money. This film goes back to the pre-Fallen Kingdom Dominion status quo in the world when it comes to dinosaurs. But I guess for now, I just appreciated it as a Jurassic film that doesn't completely suck, and that's not always an easy accomplishment. So that'll do it for this review of Jurassic World Rebirth. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you for watching.